Welcome to the Small Business Report with your co-host, Carl Brown, the Executive Director of the DC Small Business Development Center, and Sharon Morton. They're bringing you all the tools you need to succeed. Stay tuned for expert advice for business owners, subject matter experts, and government agencies on how to start, grow, and finance your business right here at HUR Voices on Sirius XM, Channel 141. The Small Business Report will be right back with a show you don't want to miss after these messages.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, are you a small or mid-sized business? Let BDPAtoday.com help you leverage emerging technologies and digital innovations to transform your business.
BDPAtoday.com will highlight your organization's innovations, solutions, and success stories. Let BDPAtoday.com publish your branded videos, blogs, and photos to a national tech industry audience and assist with your awareness building campaign. With BDPAtoday.com, you can network with qualified and certified tech professionals and get access to developers, gamers, hackers, and interns to join your team for short or long-term projects.
Visit BDPAtoday.com for true digital transformation that will drive competitive advantage to your organization.
That's BDPAtoday.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. This is your host, Carl Brown, and today I'm running solo. We got Sharon Morton on location. She's out there doing some work for us, so she'll be back next week with some good information for us. But I want to talk to you today specifically about how we are all pivoting to online sales and presentations. And I'm going to tell you, one thing that irks me the most is when people waste my time. It's important for you to have your pitch ready and be concise. Do not take up a whole lot of people's time. Hit your main points, talk about your value add, leave room for questions, be polite, but don't be overly, well, how was your weekend and what did you do? Be polite, but don't beat around the bush because people are busy. And everybody is zooming at 10,000 feet because we are all zooming on multiple conferences or meetings per day. And this is just not, we don't want to be on there for any more than we have to. So if you're using a slide deck, remember no more than 10 slides, and I would keep it down 6 to 8 really. And don't make them too busy that they're trying to read and can't follow you. But that's just a tip from me to you so that you can improve your online sales presentations. Because when you do get that person on the phone or online, you want to make sure that you can make that sale. You can close the deal. All right. We got a great show for you today. We have Cynika Drake, president of Lavish Lifestyles Concierge. And we also on the bottom half hour, we have Paulette Lundy, and she is the principal and founder of the Lundy Law Group. And she will be discussing why it's important for you to have an estate plan. And if you remember, our brother Chadwick Boseman, HU grad, recently passed away, and he did so without a will. And so that put his wife in a precarious situation. And so you don't want to put your family, your loved ones in that same situation. So we're going to have Paulette Lundy talk about why you need to do an estate plan. But in the meantime, we're going to be right back with Cynika Drake, and we're going to be talking about traveling during the COVID. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Computer systems in cars are the new normal. from electronically controlled transmissions to dozens of sensors. So when something breaks, it could cost a fortune. That's why I have CarShield. CarShield has affordable protection plans that can save you thousands for a covered repair, including computers and electronics. The people at CarShield understand payment flexibility is a must. Monthly plans can be customized to your needs with rates as low as $99 a month. No long-term contracts. At CarShield, you get to choose your favorite mechanic or dealership, and CarShield takes care of the rest. They offer complimentary 24/7 roadside assistance and a rental car while yours is being repaired. CarShield has helped over 1 million customers. For as low as $99 a month, you can protect yourself from surprises and save thousands for a covered repair. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention code REPORT, or visit carshield.com and use code REPORT to save 10%. That's carshield.com, code REPORT. A deductible may apply. Are you a business owner and your business needs a boost? Are you ready to build or grow a profitable business that delivers new clients and customers to you every month? Have your business highlighted on a national radio show or TV network. Let MortonMediaTV.com help you get the maximum exposure your business deserves so that you can get the customers you need. MortonMediaTV.com will help you start or grow your business rapidly through the power of TV and radio. You can reach hundreds of thousands of viewers and listeners who want to buy your product or service. At MortonMediaTV.com, our mission is to teach business owners how to use the media to their benefit. You can become a thriving entrepreneur and achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed about. Go to MortonMediaTV.com and get your business on TV or radio for the maximum exposure you deserve and the customers you need. That's MortonMediaTV.com.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, this is your host, Carl Brown and Sharon Morton. Are you a growing, small, or mid-sized government contractor ready to reduce your back office costs? Do you want to maximize your compliance and minimize risk managing contracts? Move your business to the next level of success with At-Work Systems.
At-Work's OneLink solution provides electronic self-services to every employee, greatly reducing frustrating paperwork. Your managers get out-of-the-box processes that increases productivity, improves control, and eliminates surprises. And most importantly, your executives get the real-time data and analysis needed to make better decisions.
Take it from us here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM. Let At-Work Systems streamline your back office and save you money while doing it.
Visit exploreatwork.com now and receive your free demo and business assessment. That's exploreatwork.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM, Channel 141, HUR Voices. This is your boy Carl Brown, and I'm running solo in the studio. But today we got a fantastic guest, Miss Cynika Drake, president of Lavish Lifestyles Concierge. And if you know anything about travel, you want to get in touch with this young lady right now because she can take you places. Welcome to the show, Cynika.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, what is Lavish Lifestyles Concierge?
Basically, Lavish Lifestyles Concierge is an event planning company as well as a travel planning company. So we do everything from travel planning, whether you're looking to do a staycation or you're looking to travel to the Caribbean or Mexico. Those are actually our main areas of focus. Pre-COVID, I should say, was travel to the Caribbean and Mexico. And now we've kind of pivoted to now include travel within the United States, as we find people still have the desire to travel, but just may not feel as comfortable flying. So now we're actually exploring markets like DC, Virginia, parts of California, places where people can go and still feel away, but they could also drive there without having to get on a plane.
Now, I've seen your posts on Facebook, and you have been in some very exotic places, to say the least. So let's talk about, how long have you been in business? How long has Lavish Lifestyles Concierge been in business?
We've been around since 2007, so we are going into our 14th year. And every year it
Congratulations.
just, thank you. Every year it just keeps getting better. So
I'm telling you, because a lot of people don't last 2 years, so you're doing fabulous right now. So, what
thank
is the
you. Thank
benefit?
you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. What is the benefit of hiring Lavish Lifestyles Concierge to make hotel reservations or plan a vacation versus using an online booking site?
I would say one of the main things is we have personal relationships with hotels. So normally I can work with the hotel on behalf of the client and get them a rate that you won't find on the hotel's website or through a major credit card company or through one of these search engines. Also, let's say a problem arises at the property and you book through XYZ site. You're just another number to that site out of the millions of people that book through them. Versus with me, you contact me, I contact my contact at the hotel and smooth whatever situation may have occurred out. And also just the personalized service and the firsthand information that I could provide. I mean, it's only but so much information you could get from the internet or from reading travel reviews because everyone has a different taste. And I kind of get to know my clients and I could say, okay, Carl, this is a good fit for you, but this not may not be a good fit for the next person or vice versa, based on your individual tastes and preferences. So hence why a lot of times you see me at different places. It's because I am basically doing site visits to see if I feel comfortable, to see if I feel welcomed, to see how the service is, and really to fill out the hotel as well as the area. Because again, like someone may have mobility issues. You can't tell if a hotel is easily walkable from their website. It could be a lot of hills. It could be, rocky terrain. It could be anything that, could hinder someone having a great time. So that's why I come to the hotels and I check it out and then I could comfortably, or I may say, no, this hotel just isn't it for me or any of my clients. And I'll find a better, more suitable property. So
That's wonderful because
thank you.
I know my mom went on vacation one time and they there was a lot of walking and they didn't know that this was going to be part of the vacation. She was able to do it, but she would have preferred to have a more of a beach environment as opposed to a tourist walking environment. So that's good to know because that really makes a big difference. So, what are
Absolutely.
what are the top benefits of hiring an event producer or wedding planner versus doing it yourself?
Well, I could tell all the brides or brides to be out there, the moment that you tell a vendor that you are a bride is the moment that they inflate the price, many times to the point of 20% or more. So, one of the values of hiring an event planner or a wedding planner is our relationships. Vendors are willing to give us discounted rates because they bank on us basically sending them repeat business and we'll have more weddings, we'll have more events. Whereas you hopefully will only have one wedding, so they're not necessarily looking to give you a great deal because they're like, okay, this is a one off. We're going to charge them the highest price. So that's one of the benefits. And another benefit is just this is what we do for a living. So we will know things that you guys won't necessarily know as it pertains to planning. We will have relationships to, vendors and to other contacts that the average person, unless they work within, the event planning and wedding planning space, may not be aware of. And it also just saves you time and stress. Like, who wants to walk around, micromanaging vendors when you should be enjoying your event? And even now with COVID, one thing that I will say is that as an event producer, I have taken courses on COVID safety that make me more equipped to make sure that the hotel or venue that you're having your event at is really in compliance with COVID safety measures because no one wants to do an event to endanger yourself or your guests. So that's an added layer and an added value that we bring to the table, as that's something that's new that's being rolled out now. And not every event planner can say that they have certifications in COVID safety. Basically, the title is COVID Compliance Advisor.
Oh, okay. So that's a benefit right there as a small business owner. You can talk about how that differentiates you from your competitors when you're making that pitch.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, between time savings, safety, expertise. I mean, I've been doing this for 13 plus years. So, and again, I'm passionate about it. And I think that when clients work with us, they could see the passion, they could see that I'm a perfectionist. So I would never do something for a client that I wouldn't want done for myself. Like I believe in over delivering, not under delivering.
So, hey, let me ask you. Like it's not like I'm asking you a trade secret or anything, but have you ever gone to an event that you were getting ready to put on, or you were putting on, and were disappointed in the way the event took place?
I would say I have gone to events where I guess, of course, I'm looking with a more through a more critical lens. Yes, I would say service is paramount. For me, service is people will not necessarily remember every minute detail, but they will remember if the service was bad. They'll remember if the food was bad. I mean, even with the DJ, you kind of have some wiggle room with that, but you gotta make sure you hit the mark when it comes to service and to food. Even if the decor isn't the greatest, I always tell clients do not scale back on food and do not scale back on making sure that the staff that you hire are really up for the task. And you could always, get a good lighting company. And a good lighting company, one of my secrets I'm kind of giving out, if you get a good lighting company, you can turn a worn down warehouse into something, appealing. So,
Okay, okay. I went to a wedding one time. They were serving chicken, and we were sitting way in the back. And when they opened the door, because the waiters were coming through the back door where we were sitting, we
uh-huh.
could see prime rib on the plates that were going in the other room. So we paid the
Uh,
waiter like $20 each, and he brought us prime rib and Hennessy and everything else. We had a great
nice.
time at the wedding.
Nice. Yeah, I bet you guys did. I mean, that's how you do it. I mean, I love that. And again, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying everyone has to spend, $200 a person per plate for a wedding, but it's things like that. It's like sometimes you want to give your guests that experience as well. And that's why if you do have the extra money to spend, I always say go for it if you really can go for it because you really want guests to have an experience, as well. So.
Well, we got about a minute on this segment, so why don't you give them your website and how people can get in touch with you to benefit from your services?
Sure. Our website is Lavish Lifestyles with an S, LA.com. Again, that's Lavish Lifestyles LA.com. And you could also feel free to give us a call at 646-504 1457 for those on the East Coast. And those on the West Coast, we are at 310-499-3968. Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. So, look, let's talk about safety and travel during the COVID when we come back from break.
Sounds good.
You're listening to the Small Business Report. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, we've said goodbye to summer and it's time for things to get back to our everyday autumn groove. With so much changing around us, it's difficult to find that extra time for you. With Plexiderm, all you need is 10 minutes and you can look 10 years younger. Plexiderm is a clinically studied serum that gives your appearance the right kind of changes. Visibly reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and even under eye bags in minutes. Take up to 10 years off your appearance in less than 10 minutes. The results will last for hours. Try a 6-application trial pack for just $14.95 with free shipping when you visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and use the code SMALL. This order comes with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Make those wrinkles, lines, and under eye bags disappear with Plexiderm. Visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and say the code SMALL at checkout. Get ready for skincare and makeup that will heal your mind, body, and soul. SkinDeepBeautyStore.com is a totally organic, and vegan skincare and makeup line that you'll love using, because what you put on your body is just as important as what you put in it. Choose from our organic moisturizers, anti-aging serums, natural and fruit-based scrubs, masks, lipsticks, and glosses. No more worries about harsh chemicals being absorbed into your skin. It's time to commit to your health and wellness. SkinDeepBeautyStore.com is your one-stop, cruelty-free skincare and makeup shop with safe and environmentally friendly ingredients for the love of you. Visit us at SkinDeepBeautyStore.com. That's SkinDeepBeautyStore.com.
Do you need expert advice from successful business leaders on how to start, grow, and finance your business? Tune in every week to the Small Business Report at HUR Voices on Sirius XM Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton. The Small Business Report gives you, the small business owner, and those thinking about starting a business, expert advice from successful business leaders around the country. Visit us at smallbusinessreport.biz and like us on Facebook. The Small Business Report, giving you the tools you need to succeed. This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. We got Cynika Drake in the studio with us today. Well, on the phone. Everybody's remote at this time, but hey, due to the COVID. But she is the president of Lavish Lifestyles Concierge. And Cynika, I was looking at your website, and let me just paint a picture for the audience. And we'll talk about travel and safety in a second. But I just want to paint this picture because it was beautiful. Deep blue, crystal clear sea, white sandy beach, a big, big red heart made of rose petals. Was that a wedding or was that like a reception? What was that?
That was a romantic dinner,
Oh,
actually in Bali. So
yes.
basically, the clients that really want to go all out, whether you're celebrating an anniversary, you're going to propose, or you just want to have a romantic dinner with your significant other, I put together things like that, whether it's Bali, Dominican Republic, Mexico, you name it. And I love the way you described it. Yes, it was basically underneath a cave, and
It
we had a
was.
table sat there under a cave, and lights kind of stringing from above, and rose petals in the shape of a heart, and basically the table is facing the ocean. So that's your ambiance, that's your music, and it definitely is a romantic scene. I don't think many top that. So.
Nah, that was a home run. So guys, if you ever get in trouble or if you want to propose or you want to celebrate a significant milestone with your significant other, call Cynika. She can make that happen for you. So
Absolutely.
so let's talk about travel during the COVID because to be honest with you, I am afraid of flying and I've been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off.
I mean, for me, I will say this, and I know that, we've done some market research and we found that about 50% of people are comfortable traveling right now or willing to travel, I should say, and another 50% are like, no, I'm waiting until 2021, 2022. So it really comes down to a personal choice. Like for me, I am comfortable traveling because this is, of course, my industry, but I also do so responsibly. And when I say responsibly, I contact hotels and I ask them, which is a question anybody could call the hotel and say, basically, what is your occupancy percentage? And you want a hotel basically to say 30% or less. So that means the hotel is clearly only 30% full versus if a hotel is like, no, we're about 85% full because in this regard you're able to social distance. So right now I look for hotels that are not very busy. You may travel during the week to avoid crowds if you do like a staycation type of thing. And I also ask hotels, do you require masks to be worn in all public spaces? Can you please send me your COVID safety measures via email. This is again stuff that people can ask right now, or a lot of hotels on their websites have a link that says COVID safety, and it tells you what the hotel is doing to enforce COVID safety. So for me, I feel comfortable when traveling to a hotel that has outdoor seating. That's another thing that I tell people, while the weather is still fairly, comfortable to sit outside with a jacket or a sweater, ask the hotel, do they have outdoor seating? Or ask if you have hotels, I mean, not hotels, if you have restaurants within walking distance that has outdoor seating. I also carry sanitizing supplies. I mean, this wouldn't be as easy on the plane to carry like bleach or something like that. But when I do staycations, I bring those antibacterial wipes with me and I wipe down all the surfaces in the room. I request that room service bring the food up once, like normally for breakfast. I don't normally go down to the hotel for breakfast if it's indoor. And I also decline housekeeping. So once I do the room a once over, I'm fine not having housekeeping come back in the room until I exit. But that's mainly what I do. And then when I fly, I just take the wipes with me. I take the hand sanitizing wipes. And again, I wipe down the room. I have my mask on the plane. I have my face shield. And I honestly feel comfortable flying. So,
Well, I can tell you, I got a buddy of mine. This is pre-COVID. This is years in the making. This guy he would bring his wipes on the plane and wipe everything down.
yeah, I mean, I love it.
I had no problem with it because many years ago when I was working in the airline industry, uh, they would give us 5 minutes to clean the plane. So people
Wow.
always thought that we wiped the where your headrest was. Nah, we just all we got was the newspaper, cups, water bottles, all that stuff. We got it out the pockets, and whatever you left in the seats, we got that out, put it in the garbage, and that was it. So the armrest, the actual little table, and the headrest, we didn't even touch them. So when I tell people that, they can't even believe it. It's like, what? We thought y'all would clean the plane. Yeah, we thought we would clean the plane too, but that wasn't happening. So maybe now they're doing it. So what other safety measures would you tell a novice or somebody who doesn't know, what they need to put in place to protect themselves, or the hotel needs to put in place to protect the guests?
Well, I definitely like what I've been seeing recently, which most hotels have, which are hand sanitizing stations. I carry tons of hand sanitizer with me. Um, So, I mean, I'm seeing hotels do a pretty good job. Like I said, all the staff wears masks. My issue with some hotels is some hotels allow guests to sit in the lobby because they have like an open air concept. I
Oh,
personally
okay.
do not feel comfortable with that. And that's another thing that I ask, hotels before I go to the hotel. I say, do you have a lively lobby? I know that may sound like an odd question, but it's a question that people need to ask now because some hotels, again, if they have like an open air concept or have like those large, windows, they'll allow people to sit on their laptops. If it's a bar there, guess what they're doing? They're drinking, they're talking,
Yeah.
they're having meetings, and you're still technically inside. I personally don't feel comfortable like that. And I know, most of our clients that do travel are still, a little hesitant about traveling, but they just are like, I need to get away from my own sanity. So, I want them to enjoy themselves, but not be someplace where they feel uncomfortable. So I think right now it's no dumb questions to ask when it comes to hotels. And if a hotel is hesitant to answer those questions or seem unsure, then I would skip that hotel because it really comes down from management. I will say I've seen it on both sides. I've seen some hotels that tell guests they do not have to wear masks in the lobby, that their staff will wear the
What?
mask. Yes, yes, some
That's
hotels,
crazy.
not here in the US, but hotels in Mexico, hotels in the Caribbean, not all, but again, some hotels allow the guests inside not to wear masks, and it's just the staff that are wearing masks. So again, I personally don't feel comfortable with that. I only stay at hotels that require both the guests and staff to wear masks. So I really think, it's all about asking questions. It's asking enough questions until you feel safe or until you can make an informed decision. Because I'm not going to get political, but a lot of hotels, it depends on the management. If the management feels a certain way about mask wearing, it trickles down. And if the
Right,
management in another
right.
hotel is like, no, this COVID is real, and we really need to stay safe, it trickles down as well. And again, just like in real life, hotels have management that, have various political views, both here in the US as well as in the Caribbean and Mexico. So
So we got about a minute left. What do you forecast as the future of in-person events?
I think in-person events are coming back. I've actually had a couple of meetings recently. Right now, I know in New York and New Jersey, you can have an in-person event. It could be no more than 50 people. A lot of people are slowly easing back into that, and they're going to do a mixture of what's called a hybrid event and hybrid/virtual event slash in-person event. And basically, a hybrid slash virtual event is an event that some people are there. So let's say it's you and I in the studio, and then we have other people over a Zoom. So that's kind of how a hybrid event would be, where the people on the Zoom can interact with you in person. And a lot of people are doing that. So they may say, okay, we'll have 20 people here physically at the event, and then we'll have another 100 over Zoom. So that's one option that we're kind of playing with, because then it's not a full on virtual event. And then, outdoor spaces are trying to make, creative ways of still doing events until it gets too cold to do an outdoor event. But
Right.
slowly but surely, rooftops, gardens, venues like that are accepting guests. I mean, I know a venue that recently did a wedding. I think it was a 50-person wedding in New Jersey a few weekends ago. So events, I don't think the industry is dead. I think, again, it really comes down to what you're comfortable with and how on top the venue is in terms of safety. But I will say this, any event that Lavish Lifestyles Concierge produces, we are on top of it when it comes to COVID safety. We are not looking to do a super spreader event, nor will we take on clients that
Well,
are
give me
open to
your
recklessness.
give me your info one more time before we go.
Oh, sure. You can find us at lavishlifestylesla.com, plural. So again, that's lavish lifestyles with an S, la.com. And on the East Coast, we're at 646-504-1457. And the West Coast is 310-499-3968.
Well, Cynika, it's been wonderful talking to you. I think you've given our audience a lot of helpful tips as they travel. A lot of business class is still traveling now, and people do want to take a vacation. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been fun. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Take care. We'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye
This
bye.
is the Small Business Report. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, Small Business Report listeners. Are you a small or mid-sized business? Let BDPAtoday.com help you leverage emerging technologies and digital innovations to transform your business.
BDPAtoday.com will highlight your organization's innovations, solutions, and success stories. Let BDPAtoday.com publish your branded videos, blogs, and photos to a national tech industry audience and assist with your awareness building campaign. With BDPAtoday.com, you can network with qualified and certified tech professionals and get access to developers, gamers, hackers, and interns to join your team for short or long-term projects.
Visit BDPAtoday.com for true digital transformation that will drive competitive advantage to your organization.
That's BDPAtoday.com. Computer systems in cars are the new normal, from electronically controlled transmissions to dozens of sensors. So when something breaks, it could cost a fortune. That's why I have CarShield. CarShield has affordable protection plans that can save you thousands for a covered repair, including computers and electronics. The people at CarShield understand payment flexibility is a must. Monthly plans can be customized to your needs with rates as low as $99 a month. No long-term contracts. At CarShield, you get to choose your favorite mechanic or dealership, and CarShield takes care of the rest. They offer complimentary 24/7 roadside assistance and a rental car while yours is being repaired. CarShield has helped over 1 million customers. For as low as $99 a month, you can protect yourself from surprises and save thousands for a covered repair. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention code REPORT, or visit carshield.com and use code REPORT to save 10%. That's carshield.com, code REPORT. A deductible may apply.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Wood.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. And as I promised, we have Ms. Paulette Lundy, the principal and founder of the Lundy Law Group, LLC. Hey, Paulette, welcome to the Small Business Report.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be with you today.
Thank you. And I teased the audience when I talked about Chadwick Boseman and him not having a will.
Yeah.
And now it's in probate, and it really put his wife in a bad situation and all of that good stuff.
Yes.
But we could get into that in a minute. But tell us about what you do and who do you serve.
Sure, absolutely. Well, again, thank you for having us. And we're a small law firm in Columbia, Maryland. But although small, we handle some really large matters for our clientele. We enjoy supporting them from a business perspective and an estate planning perspective. While we do so many other things, we realize most recently that is the need right now that's out in our community, is that people are either starting a business or have a business. They're families who are not necessarily protected from an estate planning perspective. So we want to address those issues. So we deal with individuals and families as well as business people, and just ensure that they're protecting themselves, their loved ones, their assets, their businesses, just ensuring that they have a really good plan in place that once implemented will be effective and comprehensive. So we kind of hit a large spectrum of individuals because we're people, and we engage in business matters, both, from a small to medium perspective, and we need the support. And so we're out there and ensuring that people are protected.
Well, I agree with you 110%. That's why I got you on the show, because
Smart.
We try to be holistic in our approach on how we work with and help small businesses at the DC Small Business Development Center, and all the small business development centers around the country. We have a similar model. So, we want to make sure that as the people work, business owners work to build the business, that they protect themselves, not just in the way that they they structure the business. Well, if it's a LLP, LLC, or a corporation, the S corp, whatever.
Sure.
But they also think about this whole life planning, estate planning type thing. So why are you so passionate about legacy and life planning?
My Lord, and I think sometimes experience is the best teacher, or the best thing that could happen to people. And so I've seen both in my clients, but I also experienced it personally, where within my own family, people did not establish the plans necessary. And when they became either incapacitated or they passed away, it thrusted the family in chaos. And then here I am, the quote unquote family attorney, the youngest of my siblings. And I'm trying to take control, although I may have said some things to them, but you can tell people things, but you can't make them do it, right? And so
That's right.
in my own community, I saw how it ruined families and how it ruined businesses. And I became first guilty, because I felt like, well, did I do everything that I could have or should have done to help avoid this? And then I became committed to ensure that this never happened again. And so my passion comes from my pain, and now it's my purpose to ensure that anyone in my reach, anyone in my community, anyone under the sound of my voice doesn't allow themselves to be caught in this bind, so that they're unprotected, that their businesses are not either properly structured and sustainable, that they don't have proper compliance aspects in place. So I am trying to right a wrong and to help individuals who have been given misinformation, and ensure that it doesn't happen to another business, another family, or another person. And so sometimes you have to swallow a hard pill before you even get the message. And so now that I have the message, I'm sharing the message.
So how can folks in our audience get in touch with you that need this estate planning?
Oh, absolutely. So we're in Howard County, Columbia, Maryland. We're at 5850 Waterloo Road, Suite 140. And you could call us at 410-480-7090 or 7093. We can be emailed at info@lundylawgroup.com. See our website, www.lundylawgroup.com. We're on Facebook at Lundy Law GP, LinkedIn and Twitter. We are available, and can be reached in so many facets, because we want to make sure that it works for anyone who needs it to work.
Absolutely. So who needs to be thinking about legacy planning?
When I say everyone, I really mean everyone. And I know that that's a large spectrum of people, but we're never too young to start thinking about it, educating ourselves about it. I mean, we're teaching children about finance, right? And so this goes along with finance, ensuring that we're financially sound and that we're putting practices in place. So I mean everyone. Now, you may be too young to put a plan in place, but knowing about it in advance and then implementing it when you become of age is really important. But I tell people that you're never too young, and you're definitely never too old. The issue comes into place if you are not alive and you don't have sound mind and body, so that you can understand, because you need that in order to implement an estate plan. But we should all be implementing a plan. We should all be talking about a plan. If you have anything that's titled in your name, you need to be thinking about estate planning. If you own a business, you should be thinking about estate planning. If you have children, my Lord, you should be thinking about estate planning. So it's never too late until it is. And you don't want to wait until it's too late to get started. That's a risk in and of itself. So we should get started right where we are today, no matter how old we are, so long as we can actually understand what we're doing and are not being coerced by anyone to do it.
You know, I think part of the reason a lot of people don't do it is because they feel as though estate means something big.
Yes.
And they might not have anything big.
Yes.
Can you like mystify that or demystify that myth?
Yes, that is one of the biggest myths and lies. And you mentioned Chadwick Boseman in the beginning. You know, I think people think that estate planning is for the rich and famous. And I tell people, if that is the case, then Michael Jackson, Prince, now Chadwick Boseman, even Kobe Bryant would have had an effective plan in place. Aretha Franklin, Barry White, I could go on and on for hours and days about the rich and famous people who did not have a plan in place. Right. So that means it's not only for the rich and famous. In fact, it's for the smart and strategic. And so you don't have to have an estate. The word is confusing and it leads you astray. You just need to have something titled in your name, or an asset, or children, as I mentioned, business. And, you know, we tell people all the time that you don't have to have thousands of dollars. And if you want to create an estate, there are ways to do it. You know, we could talk about it later, but you can have an insurance plan that funds your estate plan. So there are so many strategies that can be employed, but definitely it is not for the rich and famous. It's for individuals who will leave loved ones behind and who have something to leave behind. I tell people all the time, they say, I don't have anything. And then I start asking, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? And the answers are yes. And so therefore, you need to talk to someone because you just may not be aware enough. And that's one of the biggest hurdles, is that people don't act because they think it's costly. They, don't understand it. They're afraid. I had a woman who told me that if she planned her legacy, that, something might happen.
I've heard that too. It's very unfortunate, but
it is.
I've heard that. But then
happen.
Something is going to happen at some point in time, and then everybody's scrambling, and they have nothing. I mean,
you have nothing, and then that's when it becomes more expensive. So I tell people, you either pay now or you pay later. But when you pay now, you control the cost. When you pay later, there is no control, and what you've left behind could be just swallowed up in all of the costs associated with not planning in advance.
So what are, and I think we touched on it, but what are some of the dangers involved in failing to engage in legacy/estate planning?
Absolutely. Huge danger. Like, anytime you think of that, you should think of the red stop sign. Like if you didn't do something, you better stop now, think and act. I mean, the first thing is that you have no plans in place for your family. And so they're either faced with the challenge during incapacity or death, after your death or incapacity, of figuring out and handling matters and putting affairs in order. And, at times we live out our day-to-day, sometimes kind of helter-skelter, in that we're going, we're just going with the motions. And so being strategic and sitting down and organizing and establishing, whether it be your bills or your accounts or what have you.
Well, Paulette, we got to go to break, so let's finish that up on the other side.
Sure, absolutely.
This is the Small Business Report. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, we've said goodbye to summer and it's time for things to get back to our everyday autumn groove. With so much changing around us, it's difficult to find that extra time for you. With Plexiderm, all you need is 10 minutes and you can look 10 years younger. Plexiderm is a clinically studied serum that gives your appearance the right kind of changes. Visibly reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and even under eye bags in minutes. Take up to 10 years off your appearance in less than 10 minutes. The results will last for hours. Try a 6-application trial pack for just $14.95 with free shipping when you visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and use the code SMALL. This order comes with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Make those wrinkles, lines, and under-eye bags disappear with Plexiderm. Visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and say the code SMALL at checkout. Are you a business owner and your business needs a boost? Are you ready to build or grow a profitable business that delivers new clients and customers to you every month? Have your business highlighted on a national radio show or TV network. Let MortonMediaTV.com help you get the maximum exposure your business deserves so that you can get the customers you need. MortonMediaTV.com will help you start or grow your business rapidly through the power of TV and radio. You can reach hundreds of thousands of viewers and listeners who want to buy your product or service. At MortonMediaTV.com, our mission is to teach business owners how to use the media to their benefit. You can become a thriving entrepreneur and achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed about. Go to MortonMediaTV.com and get your business on TV or radio for the maximum exposure you deserve and the customers you need. That's MortonMediaTV.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. And we were talking to Paulette Lundy, principal and founder of the Lundy Law Group, LLC. And we were talking specifically about the dangers involved in failing to engage in legacy estate planning. So, Paulette, this is so important. So please continue.
Absolutely. As I started to say, you leave your family unprotected. You leave them with no instructions on how to handle your affairs. And then they're thrusted into probate, which is a public court process where you have a stranger either deciding who gets what, when, where, and how. And not to mention the children being unprotected. And so what you don't want is to allow this Maryland de facto plan to be implemented, which is, the law of intestacy. It means that you died without a will. And so they have this whole schematic that they have already pre-decided. They're so gracious and kind. They've already pre-decided on who in the hierarchy of your family should get your hard-earned money, your hard-earned assets that you acquired, your personal possessions. There's just so much that you could have, that if you're not planning on how it is to be transferred to someone else and to whom, it will be handled on your behalf. But what that causes is a lot of time. It's timely. A probate process could call anywhere between 12 to 18 months, where your family may not necessarily have access to your assets and to your money. It's public, so all your nosy neighbors, and other people who don't mean you well will just be poking their heads in to know what you left behind. And then not to mention, it causes vulnerability for your family members, because now they know that you left either $1 or $1 million to your children or your spouse, and then they can become prey. Not to mention that it's challengeable. It's a process that even invites people to file a claim, because you have to give notice to creditors and to interested parties, and they have up to 6 months to file a claim. So it's like inviting people to come. And during that time, there are other steps that you have to take as the personal representative. Again, someone that the court decided. Then, and while this is happening, you're waiting for, that shoe to drop. And so it's not a process that, in all honesty, that we should subject our loved ones to. If we say we love them and we really mean well for them, then we should be planning for their life in the absence of ours.
So I'm glad you say that. So what is involved in planning your legacy?
Absolutely. So communication is the key. We don't talk about it. I said last week that estate planning has almost become a taboo topic in the family, just like sex used to be back in my day. I couldn't talk about it at home. And so you need to talk about it. You need to let your children know what you want done or what you plan to do. If we have parents who are alive who don't have plans, we need to talk about it with them, introduce the topic, and make it okay to talk about it. Then if you have nothing at all, you should have a will. Now, understand, having a will still thrust you into probate like not having a will. That's just where the change of title, the changing of the guard has to happen concerning your assets and anything that you own, especially if it's only titled in your name. You have to go through probate. So we don't want to do that. So a will, while it's a good idea for someone and people who don't care about subjecting their loved ones to probate, that is not the best choice. Then you can have, in place of that, a trust. A trust is what I call a will on steroids without probate. And so you don't have to go through the probate process. There are no court fees, no appraisal fees, and it's not public. It's not easily challenged, and it's revocable. You can change it whenever you want. While you're living, it's a living document. You can change it. You can add, delete, do as you wish, but it's so flexible, Carl. You can leave great instructions. You can choose who will be your alternate successor in your absence, and who you trust to carry out your instructions. You can leave guardianship instructions for your children. I mean, it's just really a great thing to have, not to mention including your business in the trust so that there's a smooth transition. Then you should absolutely have a power of attorney, because we are living longer and we're living with more infirmities and incapacities. And so if you become incapacitated, you need to have a durable power of attorney. And I say durable because sometimes I think it's better to have a power of attorney that is effective now, as opposed to it springing into action when you become incapacitated. And you want, to ensure that you have an agent who you trust, who will handle any financial matters on your behalf. But if COVID didn't show us that we also needed an advanced healthcare directive, then I don't know
Right.
what will. Tomorrow is just not promised to anyone. And illnesses and incapacitation, they just don't schedule an appointment, and ask, next Tuesday. Is next
Hey,
Tuesday okay?
and this, it's at any age. I mean, I'm looking
At
at,
any age.
20-year-olds, 30-year-olds,
Absolutely.
40-year-olds, 90-year-olds. I mean, we're all susceptible to this thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, let's talk about, how and why does legacy planning apply to entrepreneurs and small business people? And before you jump in, I just want to give you this. Two guys had a business, and this is about 10, 12 years ago. One died. The other guy, the wife became the partner of the survivor.
Yes.
And she knew nothing about the business.
Yes.
And her bottom line was, how much money am I going to get per month to go shopping? And that's very unfortunate, but that's what the case was.
Yes.
They had to dissolve the business, basically lost the business because of the death, because there was no plan going forward. So how does this apply to entrepreneurs and small business people?
That's one of the biggest fears that you just mentioned there. If there is first of all, let's stick with just the partnership aspect. If there is a partnership, you should start with the end in mind regardless. So, I know when we're starting a new business, we're all excited and gleeful, and, the startup is the excitement
and we're going to live forever.
And we're going to live forever. And we don't think about the end result. You should be thinking about, how do you wind up the business? If we come into conflict, how do we make decisions about that? That's where, for LLCs, your operating agreements, and for corporations, your bylaws come into place. You should be talking about how the day-to-day runs, but also how does the end look? And here you have a prime example. No one goes into business with a partner to then just be thrusted into business with an unknown or even a known entity, because sometimes the partner's family members and you want to stay clear of them, and so you cringe when they come in the office. So
Right.
It's best to know what should we do, and I always talk to my entrepreneurs about having the proper information mapped out, ensuring that you have insurance, because if in fact your partner dies, the surviving partner should be in a position to either buy out the family member or the heirs. There should be a buy and sell agreement. There could be key man insurance if you're the only person and all of a sudden you can't support your family anymore. So these are things that we have to think about in the forefront, making sure that we have properly documented how things will happen on a day-to-day basis, but how they would resolve itself in the end. Because what we've seen, and in your example in particular, we've seen that the lack thereof causes businesses to cripple. And that's not what you want. If you go into business, you go into business to be successful, and hopefully for either it to pass on to your legacy or to be able to sell it and get something from it. So
Right.
Understanding who will be the next person or generation to take over is important. And that's just an area of vulnerability for many, many entrepreneurs and small businesses that we have to do away with immediately.
So we got about a minute left. Why don't you give them your info again on how they can get in touch with you?
Sure. So it's the Lundy Law Group, 5850 Waterloo Road, Suite 140. We're in Columbia, Maryland. You can reach us at 480-7090 or 7093. You can email us at info@lundylawgroup.com. Go on our website. We even have freebies on the website, www.lundylawgroup.com. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. For business owners, we have a business manifesto. For people who want to learn how to, or the ins and outs of estate planning. If you have children, we have a book called Wear Clean Underwear. All of that could be given to you for free when you log into our website. We want people to be informed, and we want to help you get there.
Well, Paulette, thank you so much for being on the Small Business Report.
Thank you for having us.
You're absolutely welcome. Hey, folks, this is Carl, your host, and I'll be back next week with vital information that you need to help grow and develop your business. This is the Small Business Report.
This has been Carl Brown and Sharon Morton giving you all the tools you need to succeed on the Small Business Report. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in next week at HUR Voices on Sirius XM Channel 141. Please don't forget to like us on Facebook. And for more tips on starting, growing, and financing your business, visit us at thesmallbusinessreport.biz.